to plaintiff Robert Parker and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, total $120 million.
I've talked to Alex Jones several times on the air in my days before joining this network, telling him that I thought that what he was saying about Sandy Hook was inexcusable, that I highly disagreed with everything he was saying, but I also am an advocate for free speech. This case will bend the limits of the First Amendment, folks. Trust me. Will it break it or will it hold? Alex Jones joins me for an exclusive interview just hours after he was told by a Connecticut judge to pay nearly $1 billion in damages. Well, now let's hear directly, unfiltered, of course, as always, from the most banned political commentator in America, folks, host of The Alex Jones Show and founder of InfoWars, Alex Jones himself. Alex, you know, right off the bat, world exclusive here. What's your first reaction to the verdict?
I mean, we knew it was coming. I actually predicted it'd be $1 billion verdict or more. The judge found me guilty in a default, even though we gave them all the discovery, so they had no case. So she found me guilty, wouldn't let us put on a case, and then for 5 weeks had people up there cry about their kids that died. I'm very sad about it. I didn't kill their kids. You know, it's like O.J. Simpson was found civilly guilty of murdering 2 people. He paid $33.5 million. So I didn't murder anybody. I just questioned a public event. I didn't send people to harass anybody. I hardly ever even talked about it. It wasn't an issue for the first 5-6 years. Then when Hillary ran against Trump, she ran against Trump on Sandy Hook, and a few little short clips she edited of me, and then the Democrats actually believed I was the Sandy Hook man. 4 years ago, they filed this lawsuit. They got all the discovery, our bank records, our documents, our emails. They had no case, so they defaulted us. Then they had this huge show trial and then gave 15 defendants tens of millions of dollars apiece. An FBI agent, never said his name, didn't even know who he was till he sued me 4 years ago. He was given $90 million. Under Connecticut law and under Texas law, where they also sued me, you can't sue somebody if you haven't said their name, but these judges don't care. So look, nobody's talking about the appeal. We are very, very sure, like 99%, that this is such a joke, this thing is such a fiasco, such a kangaroo court, such a railroad job, that these will be overturned, both the Texas rulings and the Connecticut rulings at the Supreme Courts of Connecticut and Texas, if not the Supreme Court of the United States. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I don't have $10 million cash. I got a couple of houses, a couple $1 million in the bank. It's a total joke. And so if they think they're going to get $900+ million, they're gravely mistaken. And here's more news that nobody's covering, but my lawyers confirmed it. The judge, it decides this Tutma claim or false advertising claim that they found me guilty of with no evidence. So she's going to decide how much money I pay there. That'll probably be in the hundreds of millions. Then she's saying attorney's fees. They put in attorney's fees for $400 million, as if that really cost them $400 million to persecute me the last 4 years. So they're asking again for over $1.5 billion. They've had a jury who was told I was already guilty say that I owe $965 million. Well, guess what? You can't get blood out of a stone, and so it's a Pyrrhic victory. It's more just vapor, more propaganda, like the Democrats say. 2 men can have a baby. All the rest of the stuff. It's just not reality based.
So Alex, and I want to get into some more depth in just a second, but let's stay on this. But does the judgment prohibit you from, going forward with InfoWars? Is InfoWars going to have to shut down because of the deplatforming and however they may garnish anything you make going forward if they do?
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. With inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates skyrocketing, your retirement plans are in danger. Well, our friends at American Hartford Gold can help show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Yeah. If you call them right now, they have a special offer. They will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order. So don't wait. Call now. Here's the number, 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309, or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532.
No, actually, we got deplatformed 4 years ago when we were basically the biggest show in the world. I'm not bragging. It was bigger than Joe Rogan is. Currently, we had conservatively 25, 30 million individual people coming either to radio stations or the website every day. So, yes, the deplatforming cut that back, but our core audience grew over time. And now with these show trials, it's exploded back to 5, 6, 7 million people a day. And so it's really backfired on them. And that's why the plaintiffs' lawyers, the same ones that sued Remington into oblivion and just got $73 million for their people, this group came out and said in a press conference to my listeners, don't buy his products, don't support him because we're going to shut him down. See, they don't even want money for their plaintiffs. They want to shut us down. So I'm in Chapter 11, Subchapter 5 bankruptcy, which is not a liquidation, it's a reorganization. So as long as I want to work basically for free, I mean, instead of making $2 million a year, I'll make $500,000 a year under it. I'm happy to do that. InfoWars will continue on because the bankruptcy is going to be successful as long as listeners and people support us. So that any profit for the next 5 years will go to them. So the answer is no. When they get up there and say he shut down, it's over, all this, InfoWars in the Chapter 5 will reorganize and stay on air. And then I personally will be attacked. They'll personally come after my money. Good luck. Under Texas law, can't get my house, can't get my car. I'm not into a bunch of stuff. I'm not into fancy garbage, so I don't give a damn. I care about free speech. So Mark Twain once said, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated, and that is exactly what I'm saying here. And to quote John Paul Jones, the founder of the U.S. Navy, when his ship, 1/3 the size of the British ship, was sinking, they held a cross on their bullhorn and said, are you ready to surrender? He said, surrender, I've only begun to fight. And so InfoWars has only begun to fight. People can find the forbidden information at InfoWars.com.
All right. So, Alex, you and I obviously have done this before. We've been on the opposite side of exactly this topic. Sandy Hook, I lost a child. I know the pain that grieving parents after losing a child experience. When I told my friends that I was bringing you on, they said, don't do it. There's nothing in it for you. It's not a good idea. But I wanted to bring you on because I want to talk about this. Here's my question. Do you now believe that the First Amendment is absolute, or do you believe that the First Amendment has limitations?
I believe that the First Amendment is absolute and that you can't be priorly constrained. Obviously, if you get found guilty by a real jury in a real trial for defamation or libel, then it doesn't have absolutes. It does have limits. But I wasn't given a free trial. And you know the famous saying, better that 10 guilty men go free than 1 innocent man go to jail. I have been found liable or guilty in the civil trial and wasn't given a free, fair trial and was attacked. Listen, I was never in the news about Sandy Hook until Megyn Kelly did a whole report on it. These people testified that I never said their names other than Robbie Parker, and that they only learned about me once the Megyn Kelly piece happened. So the media went back to stuff I barely covered, blew it up into this huge, huge, huge thing, and said I was currently doing things that I never did, saying I was harassing people to make me the Sandy Hook guy. Every time I go to the grocery store, almost every time, somebody walks up and says, leave the kids alone, stop saying they didn't die. I was on Joe Rogan 4 years ago, did 30 minutes of a 4-hour podcast that has 100 million views, apologizing, and before they sued me. So Hillary made it a big deal. The media made it a big deal. I said, listen, I haven't said this in years. I questioned it. I'm sorry. And as soon as I said I was sorry, they sued me. So AP, when I lost the last show trial, I was assaulted in 2 months ago in Texas. When I said on the stand, I believe your child died. And I'm sorry if what I said hurt you, but wasn't the first one to question it. A bunch of professors and people did. AP said for the first time he admits it happened. Eric, we've had a drink at Trump Hotel. You brought this up to me like 4 or 5 years ago, and I said, yeah, I'm sorry, and I apologize. They keep lying and acting like I made my career off this.
Here's what I ask you: are you sorry, Alex? I've known you a long time. I know there's an Alex Jones that people don't know because I know the Alex Jones people. There's also the Alex Jones that we're watching right now, a media mega, I would say, Godzilla, bigger than life, sometimes trashing buildings by accident. Is this one of those, I made a mistake, and you're sorry for it, and you have contrition, or is this, I'm gonna hang out because my media business is big, and I'm gonna live and hide behind the First Amendment? Which Alex is this right now?
Well, I mean, I've never been the one that's hiding behind the First Amendment. I mean, the truth is, I've said I'm sorry thousands of times. Every show I go on, they go, will you say you're sorry? And the last few months, I've said, no, I'm not saying I'm sorry anymore. I already said I'm sorry literally thousands of times. But for you, Eric, for your audience, I will say I'm sorry for what I actually did. And I'm sorry for walking into the trap of what the media misrepresented. Thousands of articles a week, sometimes even more, every channel saying I'm the Sandy Hook guy. People think I killed the kids. Literally, people come up to me and say, you hurt those kids. They don't even know who Adam Lanza is. So again, I barely ever covered it. Everyone sees this giant media event with the media hyping Alex Jones standing here, and they think I'm like literally talking about it all the time. They entered in evidence in Texas 24 minutes. They entered in Connecticut like 26 minutes of me over 10 years. Most of the clips were new clips. So literally in 10 years, they have 26 minutes of I supposedly made my career. We have been bamboozled. We have been sucked in. I don't blame the parents. They've transferred their anger over Adam Lanza. They're super emotional. They're super real. I feel sorry for them. To me, okay, they were shaking. And
yeah, but Alex, didn't you invite that? I agree with you. I think there's a lot of pain. I know this for a fact. There's a lot of pain associated with losing a child, especially the way a high-profile situation like that, and they have anger at Adam Lanza. But didn't you invite that anger and animosity? Didn't you say, "I'll take it"? Because you didn't have to make these comments, or you could have killed them and walked them back immediately. But even during the trial, it seemed like you were saying,
Eric,
"Yeah, go ahead,
sure.
Go ahead."
Look, if I robbed a bank 20 years ago, hypothetically, which I didn't, and I served my 7 years in prison, I don't need to apologize for robbing the bank anymore, okay? I didn't consciously get it wrong about these people. I didn't lie about these people. I barely covered it. Then they got upset about Trump. They said, okay, we'll say Jones is Trump's brain, which wasn't true. Steve Bannon, you could kind of say that at the time, or maybe even you talked to him all the damn time, or Sean Hannity was kind of Trump's brain. I'm not saying Trump is his own guy. What I'm saying is, they said Alex Jones, all his flamboyance and stuff out of context, is Trump's brain. Hillary ran something like $30 million in TV ads the last month of the campaign with me with edited clips of Sandy Hook. So I saw these professors and scientists and people questioning it a few years in, maybe said it might not have happened for about a year or so. Said I thought it happened years before I got sued. They went and cherry-picked this. You ever seen like the science experiment in 8th grade where you look at salt under a microscope and it looks like mountains? But it's a grain of salt or it's a grain of sand. It's not. They blew up this grain of sand to make it me because I'd gotten so famous and so big to then attach me to it so they could raise hundreds of
Alex,
millions.
I call you out. You and I go a long way. I don't think this is brought on from the outside. I think, Alex, you were asking for it. As a father who lost a child, I was like, I love Alex, but damn, he's got to chill on this because losing a child, there's nothing like it. Alex, we only have a couple minutes left, but do you think some of what has happened to you is because for a long time you were very close to Trump as well? I'm not sure if you are now or not, but do you think any of this is because of that association?
Well, I mean, 100%. But Eric, you just said what people say to me in the grocery store or at church. Chill out. They took a few clips and play them over and over again, and you're watching TV thinking, my God, Jones won't shut up about this.
Yeah, but Alex, you were almost mocking the trial by broadcasting from the courtroom. Now, come on, you can't say you were laying low on it. Let's be honest here.
It wasn't a real trial, so I do mock that tyrant judge.
Okay.
Sorry, what were you going to say? Yes, I think you're right. They targeted me because of Trump. They went after me over the Trump thing.
All right. Alex Jones, good talking. Thank you for giving us the world exclusive. Appreciate your time, Alex. And again, InfoWars, according to Alex, is alive and well. About right?
I didn't kill the children. Adam Lanza did. Find out what I actually say at InfoWars.com. Love you, Eric.